Hello again, class. We're going to go ahead and resume with our next document, which is document B. Now, on the screen, you don't see this, but what I want you guys to do is right above document B, I want you to please write down military restrictions, and then I want you to highlight it. So once again, right above document B, write down military restrictions and then highlight it because that is the topic of document B in regards to the German military being reduced along with how big the army could be. So with that being said, document B is in two parts. The first part is an actual excerpt taken from Article 160 from the Treaty of Versailles, and then the second part is a political cartoon that was created by the Germans in the 1920s. So let's go ahead and talk about the excerpt first. So I want you guys to go ahead and highlight Article 160. Then I want you to please box it in. And then right above Article 160, I actually want you to write down part of the TOV. Now, TOV obviously is an abbreviation for Treaty of Versailles. So just use that abbreviation whenever you have to write out Treaty of Versailles because it's not going to take you as long. So just so you know, the first part of document B is actually coming from the Treaty of Versailles, word for word. So I'm going to go ahead and read the excerpt, Article 160, and I'm going to tell you guys what to highlight. I'm going to talk about it, and we'll write our annotations, and then we'll move on to the political cartoon. So it says, by the date which must not be later than March 31st, 1920, the German army must not comprise more than 7 divisions of infantry and 3 divisions of cavalry. So go ahead and make that first highlight. And a couple notations, guys, or annotations. Comprise means it cannot be made up. So it cannot be made up of more than 7 divisions of infantry. Now, infantry are soldiers that are on foot, okay? And 3 divisions of cavalry. Cavalry are soldiers that are on horses or horseback. So please make those annotations. After that date, the total number of military troops in Germany must not exceed 100,000 men, including officers. Please go ahead and make your highlights on that. And then on the side note, annotation on the right-hand side, I wrote down, Germany is not allowed to have over 100,000 soldiers according to the Treaty of Versailles. That number 100,000 also includes officers. So German army is not allowed to have more than 100,000 troops total. And if they do, they are breaking what? They're breaking the Treaty of Versailles. The army shall be devoted exclusively to the maintenance of order within the territory and to the control of the frontiers. Make that highlight, please. Okay, so the annotation is off to the left. I drew an arrow off to the left. So what this is basically saying, guys, is that the only purpose of the German military is to maintain peace in Germany and what is happening in Germany and to protect Germany only. And that is it. Now think about why they do not, when I say they, I'm referring to the European nations and the United States and other countries. Okay? Why do these other countries not want Germany to exceed 100,000 troops? And why do they want their troops only to maintain what is happening in Germany? That should be an easy answer. They don't want the German army to rise up, to gain power, and to start another war again. So they want to make sure that the German army is very, very weak and that they only care about what is happening in Germany and not other parts of the world. Moving on. The total effective strength of officers, including the personnel of staffs, whatever their composition or job is, must not exceed 4,000. So all that is saying is that the German military is not allowed to have more than 4,000 officers. and that includes personnel, that staff that help out the officers. So once again, reducing the size of the German military to make sure that Germany can never rise up again and start another world war. So make sure, guys, that you have all the highlights. Make sure you have all of the arrows and the annotations. Okay, so scrolling down a little bit and focusing now on the political cartoon. So we always have to look at the source and where this is coming from, because that will give us an idea on if this political cartoon is biased, if it's not biased, and so on. Now, obviously, this is a political cartoon that was created by Germany, which means it's the German point of view and how the Germans see things and how they are being treated by other European nations. So, of course, their point of view is going to be different than, say, France or Great Britain or the United States, because they are on the other side. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to grab your highlighter and I want you to highlight German political cartoon. I want you to make that annotation next to it. Then if you guys notice where the arrow is right now, the cursor, there's a little box with a legend, and it has 3 different symbols or letters in there. Now there's a little link, and that represents a military alliance. You have the F, which stands for full-time military troops that are ready to fight at any time. And then, of course, you have the R, which are reserve troops. So if for any reason a country needs to call on their troops, they have reserve troops to step in and to take care of whatever is happening. So once again, look at this legend, and then you have the translations over here, which I also highlighted in pink on the left-hand side of the political cartoon. So once again, F stands for full-time military troops or peacekeepers. The R stands for reserve troops, and then that chain link stands for the military alliances. And then, of course, what you guys need to focus on now is the actual political cartoon and what is happening. So the first thing that we should focus on is what is in the middle. Now, of course, we should know that Germany is in the middle, and you have other soldiers or troops that are surrounding Germany. Now, hopefully we understand that the size of the troop represents the amount of soldiers that country has, either full-time soldiers ready to fight at any time or reserve soldiers ready to fight if they are called on. So how big the soldier is in the political cartoon represents how many troops that country has. Of course, Germany is the smallest. Germany is in the middle. Germany, if you can remember from the above excerpt, is only allowed to have 100,000 troops. And those 100,000 troops are not even active troops. They are reserve troops. And their job is to just maintain Germany. From there, you have 4 other countries. And these 4 countries are the border countries. These are countries that surround Germany and border Germany. So if you guys take a look at, on the left-hand side, I highlighted in yellow, you have France, you have Belgium, you have Czechoslovakia, and then you have Poland. And all 4 of those countries are surrounding Germany. Now look at the size of those soldiers. Every single one of those countries' soldiers are way bigger than the German soldier that you see in the middle, which means one thing. They have way more troops and soldiers that are ready to fight at any time. So now take a look at who has the most. So if you notice, France, which is where the arrow, the cursor is right here, is going to have the most troops. Then you're going to have Poland, who's going to have the second amount the second with the most troops. And then you're going to have Czechoslovakia, and then you're going to have Belgium. But what I want you guys to notice is this link or this chain that is connected to all of the countries except for Germany. And that chain or those links represent a military and alliance. So remember what an alliance is. An alliance is like an agreement or a friendship that a country has with another country. So France, Belgium, Czechoslovakia, and Poland all have a military alliance with each other. But now I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at where the chain is on each one of those countries and who is actually controlling that chain. Now, if you notice, and this should be pretty easy to understand, France is holding the chains. France is also has the biggest soldier, which means they have the most soldiers in their military, which means France is in control of everything. The other three countries, Belgium, Poland, and Czechoslovakia, are all shackled at the ankles, which means if you think about it, guys, who is in control? France is. And Poland and Czechoslovakia and Belgium will listen to France no matter what because France is bigger and France is more powerful. And they will do what France says, which means if at any time Germany ever disobeys or breaks the Treaty of Versailles, what will happen next? Of course, those four countries will invade Germany and they will put down the rebellion, the resistance, whatever you want to call it. So it's almost like Belgium, Poland, and Czechoslovakia are the puppets to France, meaning they will do whatever France has to say. Go ahead, guys. Make sure that you have all the highlights. Please make your own annotations on the political cartoon if you need to, and go ahead and fill in the chart at the bottom of document B for both parts, for the Article 160 from the excerpt from the Treaty of Versailles, and then, of course, the political cartoon that I just discussed. Hopefully this helped you guys out. Please, any questions, let me know. Thank you.